What an absolutely wild day in Asian World Cup qualifiers where we saw Indonesia stun Saudi Arabia and send Saudi Arabia into absolute panic mode. UAE humiliated Qatar with a 5-piece. Bahrain and Australia played a crazy draw. Break down every single game here right now in today's review of this match day of Asian World Cup qualifiers. We're going to have a full review of the window later on in this week. So get your thoughts in the comments down below. Hit the like button for Asian World Cup qualifiers. This is by far the most insane Asian World Cup qualifiers I can remember. Maybe 2010 could rival it, but right now we're heading for some crazy storylines. Let's get into the games. Uzbekistan never make it easy for themselves, don't they? Huh? Uzbeks, you can tell me otherwise, but why is it every single game has to be a struggle? You go through the happiness, you go through the let's kind of get the win here, and then you go into despair. It's like the three phases of being an Uzbek fan, but they got the win. So that's the most important thing. They almost threw the game away. Faisalayev has stepped up massively in this window. Obviously, there's no Shmordov, there's no Uranov and these sort of players. And obviously, Uzbekistan were going away to North Korea in a neutral ground. The field is terrible, we know that. But Iran played there, Qatar played there, and Qatar got a draw. Iran won the game. So Uzbekistan had to win this game, and they did. And that's because of their goalkeeper Yusupov, who's been absolutely critical during these qualifiers so far. He steps up, Faisalayev steps up after the crazy red card. Now, I wonder if the red card and the penalty was a bit harsh. Yeah, he kind of handballed it, but I felt like it was a little bit harsh. But this striker, by the way, the guy who had to replace Smurdov, Abdukolikov, I probably butchered that name, he was terrible. He had a couple of really good chances in this game. I thought his touch was poor, really off game from him. Haven't seen much of him, but his cameo and starting position wasn't great. So they desperately need Shmordov to get back healthy. But this is a critical win for Uzbekistan. They needed these 3 points. They didn't play great. I felt like Katanic once again, he goes into the lead at halftime. Second half, they allow North Korea the ball. And they said, okay, you try and play. You try and create chances. And once the penalty was received, I was like, oh no. Uzbekistan threw this game away. Katanic threw this game away, but they got the victory because North Korea have missed 3 penalties during these qualifiers. They have missed every single penalty. The one against Uzbekistan, the one against UAE, and again today against Uzbekistan. I don't know what it is with North Korea. They just got to go strictly practice penalties here because again they miss a penalty, and Uzbekistan, they get a critical win here. If they drop points here, I would be worried. I would be very worried. Getting 1 point against Qatar, who we're going to talk about later, and then North Korea, not great window. 3 points, you're still happy. You're missing a couple crucial players and you move on. North Korea, yeah, their campaign is done now. Japan just keep on rolling, people. They have scored 22 goals in 6 games, a plus 20 goal difference in 6 games. These guys are unstoppable, but they didn't play the greatest football. You know, Japanese football, sort of tiki-taka, very good technical skill. We didn't see a lot of that today. We saw 3-headed goals. 2 set pieces from Ogawa and Itakura, and then Ogawa at the back post from Juni Ito's cross. Yeah, Japan, they kept possession of the ball. I thought China, compared to when they lost 7-0 to today, they have vastly improved, basically defensively and with the counterattacks. They look threatening going forward. They just didn't have a lot of opportunities because Japan are still such a dominant team. Japan are not going to get tested during these qualifiers. The only test they're going to get is when they have friendlies and then heading into that World Cup because Japan have locked down this group. It's just them and then everybody else at the bottom of this group. But shout out to China. China had a lot of injuries. Abdulweli didn't even start. Zhang didn't even start in this game. So they were missing a lot of players, China. They put up a fight. They got it to 2-1 with Lin's goal. Really good goal, by the way. That dummy they did for it. Oh my God, that was spectacular from China. But gave their best effort. It wasn't enough. 3-1. They got a home crowd at least with 1 goal. So that's good enough in Japan. I mean, what do you want me to say, people? They just keep on rolling. They can rotate players. They still look dominating. They can show you the physical side of their game, and there was very much a physical side to this matchup, but then the technical skill that they have. Japan are just supremely such a good team, and it's a joy to watch them. But today they did struggle at parts, but they get the 3 points. Garuda, stand up. Stand up. This is, for me, I think this is Indonesia's greatest victory ever. This is their great. Yeah, they won in the 2007 Asian Cup, and they won obviously against Vietnam in the Asian Cup earlier this year. But to do this against Saudi Arabia in World Cup qualifiers, the rise is just unstoppable right now for Indonesia. And very much so, their fans should be hyped at the moment. They should be, because to win this game, to keep a clean sheet, to give yourselves hope of finishing in the top 2, top 4. Like, even if Indonesia finished in the top 4, incredible achievement. And the effort they put today defensively, that's the one thing. We're going to talk about the counterattacks and the main man, but the defensive work they didn't allow Saudi Arabia anything in this game. Nada. Like, I don't remember one time where Martin Pais made an incredible save. I'm like, oh, here he is again making an incredible save. Nope, not from him. Itzes, again, an unbelievable performance. For me, even though you want to talk about Marcelino being man of the match, Verdonk, beast mode today. Absolute beast mode. He was incredible going forward. Defensively was rock solid, and he was unbelievable. But the main man, of course, is Marcelino Ferdinand. I mean, we saw him at the Asian Cup and the goal he scored against Iraq. But today, the goal he scored, the first one, just a little bit of calmness in the box. Finally, an Indonesian player who doesn't look at the goal and gets frightened by it. Marcelino, cool, calm, collective. I want to know how you say that in Indonesian, but that was unbelievable. But the second goal for me is even better. The counterattack and the poise he has just to chip it over is just incredible. And then he struck the most incredible celebration possible with just absolute just aura. I mean, aura right there from Marcelino. He is the main man. And Indonesia pick up their first victory in these qualifiers, especially in the third round. I mean, incredible performance by them. Fully deserved. They could have been 3-0 up in the first 10 minutes. They had 2 golden chances. And again, I was thinking to myself, oh, Indonesia are going to throw this away. They're going to have good chances. Then they're going to have a defensive lapse and they're going to lose the game or draw the game. Nope, they said, not today. Today is our day. And the fans fully deserve it. And the team and the players fully deserve it. Shin Tae-yong is doing an incredible job. You know, maybe some people could be critical. You can't be critical. This team is just so young and just so... The chemistry is off. Because they haven't played a lot of games together, but they look like a side today, and they looked very good defensively. Counterattacks are on point. They pick up 3 points, and Saudi Arabia are a goddamn shambolic mess. I mean, what's worse, the Fire Festival or Saudi Arabia? They might be called the Green Falcons. They're the Green Pigeons at the moment. I love Hervé Renard. I love him. I think he's a great manager. But these players got to take some accountability. Remember, I told you many times in these reviews and the previews, we're going to see, is this about the players or is it about Mancini? Mancini right now is drinking an espresso and smiling his ass off with the money he got from them sacking him. Because these players are abysmal. The fact that Tambakti is the most threatening player going forward, he's the center back. He's the center back. Saudi Arabia haven't scored in now 4 straight games. They lost to Japan 2-0. Drew 0-0 with Australia and Bahrain. Lost 2-0 to Indonesia. 4 straight games without a goal for Saudi Arabia in qualifiers. Okay, World Cup is cool. In qualifiers, I haven't seen this before. Al Sahavi, who obviously he's doing very well in Belgium, no show. Absolute no show in these 2 games. Ferraz never suit up again for the national team. Al-Dasari didn't have a good game. I mean, nobody in the forward line looked threatening. Nobody wanted to take on an Indonesian player. They were all frightened by the moment. I just don't understand it. Hervé Renard has a massive work to undertake at the moment because this team just looks shambolic going forward. Defensively, they were all over the place. Al-Bolahi Tambakti, I love them as well, but they were absolutely abysmal. Yeah, the defensive high line can work sometimes, but today it got cut up. And Saudi Arabia are in absolute turmoil at the moment. This is turmoil. Powerhouses in Asian football, and the fact that they're in 4th place with a -3 goal difference, have 1 win in 6 games. This is turmoil. We're going to look at the group later, and we'll probably do that more in the review of this window, but this is not looking good for Saudi Arabia. Do you think they are now big trouble to not qualify to the World Cup, people? To not even finish top 4 in this group? If Saudi Arabia don't finish top 4 in this group, oh my God. But a massive day for Indonesia and a horrific day for Saudi Arabia. Why do Iran do this? Why do they do this, people? Please, to my Iranians, why do you do this? You're like Uzbeks as well. You go from happiness, despair, sadness, and then you say we won the game. That's Iran. Back in the day, Iran would always win these games 1-0, 2-0 defensively. Rock solid. Nobody's getting through the Iranian wall. Now, it's just a party for everybody. Kojo had 2 goals today. 1 from the penalty spot and a great header for the first goal. I'm like, Iran, you just didn't learn your lesson against North Korea. You were 3-0 up and almost threw away that game if it wasn't for North Korea just missing all those chances. And today, Kyrgyzstan get back to 2-2. Iran then win the game with Osmund, and that was Osmund's really contribution to the matchup. He had no chances before that, and he gets the goal, and they win 3-2. But is this a negative for Iran? I'm being honest, people, because you cannot concede these goals to Kyrgyzstan, to North Korea. Because when Iran, they will qualify to the World Cup. When they qualify to the World Cup, they're going to get absolutely annihilated at this point. They'll lose 5-0, 6-0. Maybe they'll score a goal because they have a lot of talent going forward with the likes of Taremi, Mohebi, Gaeri, and obviously Osman. But defensively, this team, it's just like when they feel any adversity, they all just shrink immediately. So I don't get it from this side whatsoever. Galoni, I don't know if you want to give criticism to him or if it's more about the players. I think Osmo came after the game and said the mentality of this team is not good enough, which good for the players to now take accountability. You can't always just say manager. The players got to take accountability, and at least he's realizing that. For Kyrgyzstan, I mean, they fought well to get back into this game. First half, they were a no-show. Second half, they put up a fight, and Kojo, there's rumors he's going to be making a move to Iran. I mean, yeah, makes sense. The guy is a very, very good striker. It's just a shame for them. You know, they leave Osmud wide open in the box. You do so much work to get it back to 2-2, and you throw away the point away like that. But Bishkek is proving to be a very much a difficult place to go play away. Iran get the victory, but is there more question marks about this national team, even after winning 2 games back-to-back 3-2? Palestine are probably the bogey team for South Korea, because that's now another draw that Palestine get against South Korea. Look, it wasn't the greatest performance from South Korea. I'm not going to go overboard and say, yeah, this team is overrated. Yeah, they just beat all these teams for nothing. No. Off day, it happens. They didn't have a great game. I didn't feel like the ball movement was really good. I didn't feel like they matched the intensity to Palestine. I think Palestine really gave a good account of themselves. We didn't see that same intensity against Oman or Kuwait. It feels like they play down to their opponents and they play up to their opponents. That's what Palestine do. And again, I gotta say it though, Oday Dugbog has a great chance in the second half. He is 6 yards out from the goal and he skies it over. Doesn't make any sense with him right now. South Korea had a couple good opportunities. Obviously, Son got the goal. Kim Min-jae give a horrific back pass, and obviously Alkan Bar takes advantage of it. I feel like 1-1 maybe is a fair result in this game. Could it be? Yeah, I would go with that. I thought Al-Batat, that was his best game by far for Palestine. That was the form I saw at the Asian Cup. This was the best game from Al-Batat. I thought he was incredible defensively and going forward. Lee Kang-in, he's kind of been quiet during this window. We haven't seen the best of him. Hwang Kim-byom, did he have his best game today? No, but I feel like he was still very much involved in the play. So, see, some Iraqis can be critical of their national team and say we're boring nowadays, compared to what we saw at the Asian Cup, which was very high-flowing, great attacking play. Now it's a bit more like, settle it down, get the 1-0 victory, and move on. But Iraq's defense is unbelievable. That's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clean sheets in this qualifiers. The only team they have conceded to is South Korea with 3 goals. The defense is incredible at the moment. They're just very organized. They have a very good goalkeeper in Basil, so he basically leads the line from the defense. Zidane Iqbal had actually a very good game today. Ali Jassim, I mean, the ball roll he did to build up the play for the only goal of the game for Iraq. And then Yusuf Amin at the back post. And he gets in the starting lineup and immediately scores. There you go, Jesus Casas. Just stick with this lineup. It's a very good lineup. But again, second half, they just go into a shell. They know they're a very good defensive team. Sometimes it's going to work out. And most of the time, it's been working out in these qualifiers. It might backfire, but heck, I think Iraq won't care, and any Iraqi won't care. As long as they keep winning these games 1-0, 1-0, maybe get a 2-0 there, maybe get a spicy second goal from Ayman Hussein, it will be all for the good reasons. To qualify to the World Cup for the first time in a long, long time. And yeah, today's performance wasn't great. It wasn't like, oh my God, spectacular, Iraq are back. No, but this is the blueprint for Iraq. Get the 1 goal. For Oman, this team is just lacking going forward. They're always going to be a difficult team to play against. They always want to keep it low scoring, but I just feel like they have nothing going forward. They didn't really test Iraq today. Yeah, they had a couple long shots and here and there, a couple dangerous crosses, but nothing that really tested Basil today, in my opinion. So Oman got a lot of work to do because they still got to play South Korea. They still got to play Jordan. They've obviously played Iraq twice now. It's not been the greatest for Oman. They still got a chance to finish in the top 4 because Kuwait and Palestine haven't been performing at the level they should be. But Iraq, good victory, and they move on. Critical 3 points, as we're going to talk about a team later. I got 5 on it. Can we play you every week? I got 5 on it. That's what UAE are saying right now to Qatar. I got 5 on it. A 5-piece today. 5. This is... I'm shocked. Like, 3-0, I'm like, okay. 3-1, cool. 5-0 against the defending Asian Cup champions. This is embarrassing for Qatar. We'll get to them in a second because they need to get roasted like a barbecue. Fabio Lima with 4 golazos, 2 penalties. That free kick that Fabio Lima scored was absolutely sensational. I mean, there is nothing Barsham could have done in the net, and overall, this has been a great window for the UAE. They scored 8 goals, conceded no goals, and look, their World Cup dream is fully on right now. It's fully on. And Al Ghassani, again, another youngster, steps up with a goal and assist today. He was fantastic. So Ail, who didn't have his best game compared to what he had against Kyrgyzstan, was phenomenal. And defensively, they were rock solid. They allowed Qatar nothing in this game. Elsa in goal had nothing to do. It was a absolutely just spectacular day for the UAE. They just cleanly swept aside Qatar and said, move out of here. We're going to try and challenge Uzbekistan for that second spot. Because Qatar, they might just be frauds. How they are just so poor defensively. They have conceded 17 goals in 6 games, people. 17 goals. That is insanity right there. I mean, you're losing 3-1 and 5-0 to the UAE in these qualifiers. Lucas Mendes is absolutely horrific right now. What has happened to Lucas Mendes? The dude was rock solid at the Asian Cup. Now, I mean, he might be the biggest liability in all of Asia. Somebody in the FBI might need to arrest him for how he's defending at the moment. But Qatar are in serious trouble. They're not getting a top 2 spot. And I'm going to be honest, they might be lucky to get a top 4 spot at this moment with the way they're playing. Yeah, their idea is we're going to outscore every opponent. Outscore. But when their attack is not clicking of Akram Afif and Almoez Ali, they are no show. Because nobody else on this team can stand up to the fight. And no player could stand up to the fight today that the UAE gave to them. And that is just poor from Qatar and spectacular from the UAE. A 5-piece, I could not believe it. When the 3rd goal went in from Fabio Lima, the free kick, I lost it. I absolutely lost it. I should have done a watch along for this game. It was incredible. So UAE fully deserved 5 goals. They were just unbelievable on the counterattack, super clinical. And Qatar, are they going to miss the World Cup, people? Let me know your thoughts. Because even if they make it to the 4th round, I have no confidence in this team. Any team that has just a competent attack and a good defense will lock down this team. They will. So Qatar are in serious trouble. And the UAE, it's their World Cup dream. Right now alive. Jordan again slip up against Kuwait. What is it with this team? Kuwait are the bogey team for Jordan. Because once again, Jordan take a 1-0 lead. Look all comfortable. They're just chilling here. They got shisha. They got a wonderful tea. They're going to take 3 points against Kuwait. And they fumbled the bag once again. But Mohamed Daham, he scored a great goal against South Korea. Scored a wonderful goal again today for Kuwait. But the backup goalkeeper who came into the game for Jordan, I mean, he should have done better with that chance. I mean, it's a good shot. It has a lot of power. Come on, you got to be doing better as a goalkeeper. But Jordan, they were great in the first half. Controlled the game. Allowed Kuwait nothing in that matchup. In the second half, they just said, Kuwait, you take the ball. Okay, Kuwait might not have the greatest quality going forward, but this Daham guy is clearly a threat going forward, so don't give him a chance. Don't give him a chance. And then Jordan, last 10 minutes of the game and the 10, 12 minutes of added time, they're like, okay, we're going to start playing now. What is it with this Jordan side? Why can you not beat Kuwait? Twice. And most people would say Kuwait are not even a top 15 in Asia. Shout out to Kuwait. They gave a great effort. The fans really believed. And once they started playing good football, you saw the crowd and the players started believing, okay, we're going to get an equalizer here. And I mean, Kuwait had a 4-on-2 at the end of the game. If they just did better with it, this could have been 2-1 for Kuwait. And we would have had a totally different discussion about Jordan. Look, Jordan get the point. But Al-Tamari again, no show. Al-Naiman scores a screamer of a goal. This guy, I hope he can make it to the World Cup because he will be the breakthrough star. But if Al-Naiman is not doing his thing, Al-Tamari, you got to step up. It's got to be a lot better from Jordan, man. I know they're not a very much a possession-based team. They're much more on the counterattack. But they didn't even look threatening in the second half. They didn't want to do anything with the ball. So Really disappointing from Jordan. For Kuwait, very good point. And look, 4th spot is still up for grabs for them. Look, the Socceroos might have got a point here, but this could have been an absolute disaster of a game for them. Look, Yengi gets the first goal because Bahrain, I don't know what they're doing in the first 20 seconds of the game. Yengi almost effed up the chance. Luckily, he converted it, but poor from Bahrain. And Bahrain created nothing. Australia's defense was looking impeccable. Nothing could touch them. And then all of a sudden, an absolute screamer from Abdul Jabbar. I don't know if you want to criticize Matthew Ryan, okay, but there's nothing he could have done there. An absolute golazo from him. But then, 2 minutes later, Matthews, look, he's a young guy. He almost scored a ridiculous own goal, but then Al Jabbar is there to tap it in, and Bahrain could have easily gotten the win here. And then Yengi, in the 96th minute, equalizes the game. But once more, it's Australia. They have nothing going forward. They had a moment of fortune with the Yengi first goal. Then they really just were scrappy with that second goal. Yeah, you could say the same thing for Bahrain's 2 goals. This game didn't have quality, but it had 4 goals, and it had crazy drama. I mean, for Bahrain, you have the lead. Just defend well. Defend well for the last couple minutes. You let it go like that, it's going to be frustrating. And for the Socceroos, again, the attack is just nothing. It's nothing. Like, yes, Yengi got the 2 goals, but I just see them going forward, and it's like, we have no idea what to do, guys. We have no idea. We got to do something here. So really, again, a poor performance from Australia. Australia in 2nd place. China in 6th place is separated by 1 point. And everybody is behind Japan. So, hey, it's not looking great for the Socceroos. They still got to play Japan. They still got to go away to Saudi Arabia. They're going to host Indonesia next game. Australia have to win that next game against Indonesia. And it's not going to be an easy game. But the Socceroos really need to improve going forward. Attacking wise. Defensively, I still think they're a good side, even though they conceded 2 goals today. Very just unfortunate goals, mishaps, and obviously the crazy golazo. Bahrain, they created nothing in this game, but yet they scored 2 goals. That's the insanity of World Cup qualifiers. You never know what's going to happen, and that's the beauty of it. But there we have for the reaction, people. Get your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, we're going to have a more thorough review of this window, because this window has gone crazy. These qualifiers have gone crazy, and I cannot wait for March, because March might be even more insane. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.